Hi grade 10s, here's another video for you today. I want to show you again how to graph linear relations. This time I'm going to show you how to graph a linear relation if the equation looks a little different than normal. So I'm going to look at my table where I have posted or drawn or written an equation 4x plus 2y equals to 10. And that is linear, despite the fact that it might look different than what we're used to. And what we're going to do is we're going to change that equation so it looks like something more familiar. So it looks like something like y is equal to 3x plus 7, for example, where we can see the slope and see the y-intercept. Right now we can't see the slope and y-intercept in that equation above because it's not y equals, it's 4x plus 2y equals. So we have to change that. So I'm going to take my Sharpie. And I'm going to write the equation again here. And what I want is I want the y to stay on the left-hand side, and I want to move this 4x to the other side so that it's y equals as opposed to 4x plus 2y equals. So I'm going to keep my 2y where it is. Keep the 10 where it is. I'm going to take this plus 4x. I know it's plus because there's no other sign in front of it. Move it to the other side so it becomes minus 4x. Okay, so now it's looking a little bit more like what we want it to look like. It's supposed to be y equals. We have 2y equals, which is close, but not exactly right. So what I want to do is I want to divide 2y divided by 2. Because if I do that, the 2's cancel out and all I have left is y. But if I'm going to divide that by 2, I need to divide the other two parts by 2 as well. What you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side. So I have y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Well, I know how to graph that. I know that the part with the x, up there we had a 3 with the x. Now I have a minus 2 with the x. That's the slope. And the part that's all alone, the 5, that must be the y-intercept. So I would make a table, 0. At the beginning, it starts at 5, and it is going down by 2 each time. So 3, 1, negative 1. We could easily graph that. So that is method 1. If you have an equation that's not y equals, you could change it to something that is y equals. That's one way, okay? The other way is to find the x and y-intercepts. Remember that the x-intercept is where it touches the x-axis, and the y-intercept is where it touches the y-axis. What I want you to notice, I'm going to get a different color of marker here. When you have a y-intercept, oh, this is not, and I go down to my x-axis. I'm at my y-intercept. I go down to my x-axis. What number do I run into on my x-axis? I run into 0. I run into x is equal to 0. That's why when you have a table of values, x is equal to 0. The number next to it, this is the y-intercept. Okay, so I know when I'm trying to find my y-intercept, x has to be equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down that equation, 4x plus 2y is equal to 10. And I know that if I want to find the y-intercept, I need to make x equal to 0. So in my equation, I'm going to cross off this x. I'm going to make it equal to 0. So here, you have two numbers right next to each other. I'm multiplying. 4 times 0. What's 4 times 0? Well, that's 0. Plus 2y is equal to 10. I can ignore the 0. So all I have is 2y equals to 10. So that means I'm going to isolate for y. So divide by 2. Y is equal to 5. My y-intercept up here is at 5. Okay, that's great. Now I want to find, just like it was over here. Both ways gave you the same y-intercept. Now I want to find the x-intercept. If I have an x-intercept and I go across to the y-axis, it's right in the middle. So that means right here, y is equal to 0. So I'm going to do the same thing. 4x plus 2y is equal to 10. If I want to find the x-intercept, I need to remember that means that y is equal to 0. So in my equation, cross off the y, put a 0 here. Okay, so I have 4x plus 2 times 0 just gives me 0 is equal to 10. So I just have 4x is equal to 10. X is equal to 10 divided by 4. X is equal to 2.5. Let's see if that makes sense from my last table. Okay, we knew that the y-intercept was at 5. At 1, it's at 3. At 2, it's at 1. At 3, it's at -1. That means that 0 must be right here in the middle. And what's in the middle of 2 and 3? 2.5. This right here is the x-intercept, because that's the place where y is equal to 0. So my x-intercept is equal to 2.5. This right there is 2.5. My y-intercept is happening when y is equal to 5. Okay, that was a quick video that should help you with some of the questions in your assignment for part B. If you have any more questions, please send them my way and I will make you a video that will help you with your lesson. Have a great day, and please remember, I'm here to help you, so send me your emails.